Alright, so we had a warning at the end of the last video, and I just wanted to check whether you could pick that up. You can see there, and it really gave it away when I hovered over it. Name guesses cannot be defined. And of course, if we look at the code, guess equals 1 should have been guesses equals 1. And of course, when I do that, it disappears. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so we've written the code to get the computer to guess a number we think of. Let's now see if it works. So I'm going to run the code. And we're thinking of a number between 1 and 1000. The number I'm going to be thinking of is 837, so I'm going to press enter to start. Computer's guess is 500. Now, should it guess higher or lower? Enter H or L or C if my guess was correct. Now, what I'm going to do there firstly is just add a space there. Then what we're going to do is just rerun this. I'm going to stop it and run it again because that's going to annoy me very quickly. Press enter there. Alright, so that's better. 837 was the number we're guessing. We can see here the computer's guessed 500. The computer's asking, should I guess higher or lower? Well, obviously it needs to be higher, so I'm going to enter H there. This time the computer's guessed 750. It's still too low because our number's 837. H again, in that case. Computer's guess is 875. It needs to guess lower, so we need an L there. Computer's guess is 812 now. Well, 812 is obviously too low because our number's 837. So I need to tell it to guess higher. 843, getting closer now to 837. So it's actually too high. So we need to go lower. Next guess you can see there is 827, which needs to be higher. So I'm going to press H there for higher. 835 now. It's getting close, but still a bit too low. We'll tell it to go higher again. My guess is 839. L for low because it's still too high. Our number's 837. This time you can see it's guessed it, 837. So I'm going to type C there, feel it's correct. And after all that, you might be wondering, well, why have we got a guess in 837 guesses? What have we done wrong there? Well, the simple thing is that we've actually printed out the wrong message. If we go down and have a look, we're printing out guess, which is the last guess, and not guesses. So I'm going to fix that and we'll run it again. This time I'm going to run it in fast motion just so we go through it quickly to confirm that it works then. Okay, so you can see the computer's now guessed 837 again. C for correct. This time we've got it in 9 guesses, so we've got the correct output now that I've fixed those 2 bugs. Now it can take less than that depending on the number you thought of, but it won't ever need any more than 10 guesses. So try with a few more numbers to make sure the program seems to work okay. So this is actually quite a hard program to test. A simple typing error could result in the program never guessing correctly, and we may not detect that unless we chose a number that causes a problem. Now before I would be completely happy with this code, I'd probably test it for all possible numbers. So I'd think of each number from 1 to 1000 in turn. So the next 35 hours of video would be me pressing H and L over and over again. Of course not. That's not a very good use of our time, especially when we have computers to perform repetitive tasks for us. So later in the course, we'll get the computer to test this code for us, but we need to understand what functions first, so we'll leave it till later. Now, one thing you might want to do is run the program in the debugger. I won't do that, but go ahead and do that if you want. It's a great way to learn. The reason I'm not going to do it here is because there's only 2 values that we're interested in when stepping through the code. The loop already pauses each time around because it waits for our input. Printing out the values of low and high is much easier than using the debugger in this case. So I'm going to do that at the start of the loop. So just I'm going to close the run pane and go back to the start of the loop under the while statement there. Line 9, what I'm going to do is print, parentheses, double quotes, \T, which is a tab character, guessing in the range of left to right curly braces, 2, and left to right curly braces again, double quotes, dot, format, and in parentheses, low, comma, high. And we've got our 2 right parentheses there. So I've included a tab character, that's that \T at the start of the output. Indenting the output makes it easier to pick out the computer's guesses from the diagnostic information that we're printing. So let's run the program again now. And this time we're going to be using 987 as the number to guess. And you press enter to start there. Alright, so we can see the ranges there, guessing in the range of 1 to 1000. 987 is higher, so I'm going to press H there. You can see it's now guessing in the range of 501 to 1000. The next guess is 750. 987 is higher, so next guess, higher again. 875, well, still needs to be higher. 938, our number's 987, so it still needs to be higher. 969, higher. 985, we're getting much closer now, but higher. At this point now the computer's guessed 993, that's higher than 987, so we go lower. The next guess you can see is 989, and we're guessing in the range of 986 to 992. So I'll scan through the output at this stage. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit. And you can see all the high and low ranges and see how they've changed each time. So we need to go lower now because our number is 987. So I'm going to top our L there for lower. And you can see that the next guess is now the correct value. So printing out information such as the low and high values can be a great way to help understand what code's doing. It's often quicker than using the debugger and it's something you might want to try first. But with that said, of course, the debugger is always available if you want to check things more closely. Right, so I'm going to enter C there to say that the computer was correct. It got it in 9 guesses, as you can see there. So I'm just going to fix this run pane and then close it. And we'll end the video here. In the next video, I want to talk about something called an augmented assignment. Now this may be a suggestion that you see in line 27. I'm on Windows and it doesn't pop up for me. But you might be, if you're on a Mac or on a Linux machine, you might be seeing a suggestion that the assignment can be replaced with an augmented assignment. And the suggestions do vary and it may or may not appear. The bottom line is we're going to talk about that and find out what that's all about in the next video.